Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of The Bridge, the official 10-7 Capital podcast. My name, as always, is Tyler, and this is our founder and CEO, timnihill. And today we're going to be doing a little bit of a rant, if you will, a little bit more of a
linear... You want to rant today?
A little bit more of a linear-focused episode. Well, you wanted to rant today, didn't you?
I do. I want to talk about how the news media is absolutely fraudulent.
Well, everybody knows this, but what sort of sets your take apart?
Financial news? Yeah, it's terrible. I just remember, I'd have to think about this, 05, maybe 07. 2007 probably sounds about right when I went. And this was triggered by a Fox Business and what they did today when they were talking about crypto and digital assets. It's so fraudulent, it's beyond belief.
Well, start us there. What did they do today?
Yeah, they had some trader on Polymarket that nobody gives a crap about talk about how crypto has no utility. Like, what are you talking about? I can transact with anyone across the world without anyone telling me what to do with my money, so don't tell me it's no utility. I transact in crypto every single day.
What were his arguments? What did he even try to say?
They're all trying to sell people on, consuming the U.S. dollar because the U.S. is bankrupt. And by the way, we want you to gamble your life savings away, so use Polymarket. It's such a joke, and it's so apparent. And like when you work at the big shops and you understand that their marketing people are getting paid 6 and 7 figures to sell you a bunch of garbage, now you'll understand what you see on CNBC and Fox Business and Bloomberg half the time. And and the reality is, the truth of the matter is the trades have already been made 6 to 9 months before it even shows up on your television. So you trying to day trade the markets is a waste of time.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw it first time. I mean, I went to, I think it was the Squawk Box. They were filming on site. And this was back when Maria Bartiromo was, before she went over to Fox Business. But
you were on the Squawk Box?
I got invited to the set just to watch it. I didn't go on. I had a couple friends that were on there. But when you realize what they're doing behind the scenes versus what they tell you on screen, I mean, at some point, the rubber's going to hit the road. And great, Bitcoin falls below 64,000. Well, fantastic. Buy more. Because in 3 to 5 years, you won't have $1. There won't be currencies anymore. So what do I care what the price is?
You ever seen the movie The Interview?
No.
I feel it's the one with Seth Rogen and James Franco, where they're like interviewing Kim Jong-un.
Right.
I feel like, but there's a scene at the beginning, which is, it just represents, I feel like, these entertainment shops so well, and I feel like news is, well, not just me, but I feel like everybody thinks this way at this point, that news is like just, they've become that, where there's a scene at the beginning where they're interviewing Eminem, and basically, like, he's not actually gay, but like in the movie, in the universe of the movie, he just like off the cuff just says he's gay. And they're talking about like his music.
That's awesome.
They're talking about his music. They're talking about like inspiration behind lyrics, stuff like that, like actual deep stuff that people might not know.
Yeah.
And they just stop the entire thing and just start going in on him about how he's gay.
Right. That's hilarious. But I mean, that's a representation of really what the reality is.
There's a scene after where they have like a whole party, and the entire party is them just going, Eminem is gay, let's go.
I mean, if you really want to look into it, and it ties into this podcast, because they're going to talk about ownership, because the financial industry and the wealth management space and governments and everybody doesn't want you to have ownership of your life and money. And look at silver. It's gone from $107 now to $71 inside of 3 to 5 days.
Mm-hmm.
So if you look at it behind the scenes, there are massive amount of short positions that would have wiped out several large banks. So they had to, come in and manipulate the markets to bail the banks out. All you're doing, your entire livelihood, can you imagine you go to work 9 to 5 every day? And this is not
that's your first mistake.
But you're going to work 9 to 5 every day, whether it's in the U.S., whatever country you want to pick, because they're all the same. And your entire life,
they're all fake,
is your entire life energy is spent on propping up the entire banking system.
Mm-hmm.
And don't believe me? Test me out. You have $100,000 in your bank account. Go take it out tomorrow. See what happens. Your money's not there. You have no ownership of your own money. You have no ownership of your own 401k.
And if for some reason it is, they will not let you take that whole thing out at once.
No, they won't. No, they won't. They absolutely won't. And the reality of it is, if you look at who the wealthy are and what the wealthy do, they have ownership of their money. Like, there's no FDIC insurance. There's no protection. It doesn't exist. If the banks go under, they're going to have to debase the U.S. dollar. And this is for your generations because, none of the adults in the room, and certainly not these baby boomers, they don't give a rat's ass about the next generations. They have done nothing but suck up everything that they could for themselves.
There's a very famous story. I might have said it on a previous episode. Maybe we can double check. But I know there's a very famous story.
Yeah.
I think it was like a year or two ago where there was a elderly baby boomer woman from that generation.
Yep.
Who she had it written in her will that my assets are going to go to this person, basically she was going to divide it between her kids. And instead what happened was she altered her will without even telling any of them.
Right.
And she took all the money and she spent it on a cruise ship, and she literally spent the money on being on that cruise ship until the day she died. And the kids got nothing.
Yeah. It's
not a word to the kids.
Yeah. And, depending on the situation, I could see that happening, I cannot see that happening. But the whole thing is, everything public is fraudulent. Even public education is fraud. The fact that you lock children up for 18 years, or the first, let's say, 5 to 18, so there's 13, 14 years, plus another 4 for college. And by the way, you have to pay $1 million to go to college and get nothing out of it. But the fact that you're locking children up for so long during the day, that's just inhumane behavior. And how bad is it that an entire population, literally encourage this? It's a prison cell. Don't think so? They'll drive around your schools where you have the tall fences and the barbed wire. Mm-hmm. They're now locking up children's phones because they don't want children communicating with the outside.
I saw recently on YouTube, I don't know how it got recommended to me. You ever heard of Waterloo Road?
No.
It's a British TV show. It's on the BBC. No. And basically it's like a school drama.
Yeah.
It just depicts it's kind of like a soap opera, but it's set in a British high school, basically, their equivalent.
Yeah.
And I don't know how I got recommended it, but it was kind of watching the clips was it was kind of a cool window to see how the British sort of school culture works. And what really stuck out for me, granted, the show is set in a very challenged inner city school. Yeah. So it was, very trashy. But what really struck me was that the school, inside it was very clean, very well kept. The teachers really cared about the students, even the students stuck to each other. The school itself was fine, really. But the school itself, the premises, had these massive steel fences that looked is this a school or a government complex?
That's all they are. They are a government complex.
What are we doing?
Every public school is a government complex. And I can say that I was too smart for them. My parents had to pull me out. So I'll judge.
Yeah, your alma mater didn't have any of those steel fences. They didn't need them.
No. And so it goes back to...
No shout out?
I'm not... Yeah. Canisius High School. I'll give them a shout out. They're not going to want to be associated with this probably. They'll be like, oh, Nihill. But...
The trouble kid.
It goes back to... All right, this is what baffles me. And this is what we share with people, because I think the $500,000 in net worth to the 25, 30 million, even up to 50 million in net worth, that group of people is the most underserved group of individuals in the entire financial system. And their entire financial lives, oh yeah, the markets, yeah. you're not really making money in the public markets. Sorry, your S&P 500 means that you're basically broke.
Mm-hmm.
You're buying, they talk low cost index investing. Well, okay, it's low cost. Why? Because Vanguard's making 5% behind the scenes. All financial firms are. It's in their disclosure documents.
Mm-hmm.
It's called, it's just hilarious.
I know we've
And so
discussed as
low
well.
cost investing, you have security lending, which index shops generate another 4 to 5 to 6% in additional revenue, so they can make money and actually stay in business because nobody can survive at 5 basis points. The other thing is then you have the banking system where when you walk into your bank and you sign their agreements, you're signing off ownership on your money. So all your dollars at the bank don't belong to you. Right? And this is just, and then you're taught, well, you're going to make money in the markets. No, you're not. Like Tony Robbins is out there telling people, like, listen, if you had $1 million in the S&P 500 from 86 to 2022, which is a massive run up in terms of S&P, you have about $26 million. Mm-hmm. What he doesn't go to show you is based on the dollar devaluation across that time, you've actually lost money. You're probably closer to $750,000 in true value on that money.
So
But if you do private equity, and this is just average, you'd have $139 million.
So here's a question, because I know we've discussed a lot of this on previous episodes as well, like the dangers of...
And, by the way, you have ownership.
Yeah. No, that's what I want to kind of get into, because we've discussed a lot about the dangers of, the public market on previous episodes and stuff like that. I know we did a whole book review on Tony Robbins, who's great. Shout out to Tony. But I want to kind of get more into private. I want to kind of get into, why private is better, but more so like what does true ownership look like, and how does that contrast to what most people think of the market, which is the public market?
Yeah, I mean,
what does it look like?
It looks like this. It's boring. It really is. Like, I don't have to worry about my 401k ever, because I don't have one. That industry was hijacked in 2008. I was a part of it. I was a leader in the space. And then, whoop, government hijacked it. Your entire life, retirement, people, I want my retirement. Really? You think you're going to retire off an account that has 6 or 7 figures that you have to pay away at least 50% of the value in taxes on? And then, by the way, they got rid of the stretch IRA, which is absolutely criminal. So now your beneficiaries have to liquidate the account within 5 years. That's a massive tax bill. Mm-hmm. And everybody is putting a ton of money into these things. You don't even own your 401k. You don't own your IRA account. Mm-hmm. The only true retirement account you do own is a Roth IRA. Mm-hmm. Love the Roth structures.
Yeah, that's kind of what I mean. Like, what does ownership look like?
It means that you own your own money. If I own crypto, I own my own crypto. Nobody knows any amount. It's private and secure.
So it's in the sense that only you have access to that money. No one else can dip in whenever they want.
It's not just that, it's ownership on the capital stack. So with every investment or business structure that's out there, there are, different levels of ownership. Mm-hmm. Well, below the line levels of ownership are stockholders and bondholders, right? So they have zero ownership. So the company can go broke and you lose all your money. Just ask people that were invested in Bear Stearns in 2008. How'd that work out for your stockholders? Right? Mm-hmm. But if I'm higher on the capital stack of ownership at Bear Stearns and I have, certain levels of ownership through equity, preferred, debt instruments, well, I'm paid out 100%. So Bear Stearns can go under. I'm still getting paid when they sell the assets.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So it's just interesting to see, like, if you really want to understand how to build wealth and have wealth and secure wealth, you have to own your assets. You have to own your finances. And by pumping money into an index fund, guess what? You don't have ownership.
I think it seems so simple to understand, just the concept of you have to own your own funds. That seems so simple on the surface, but in many ways that isn't, only because so many people are so embedded in the system that we currently have.
It's an entire 2 to 3 generations embedded into the system.
Yeah.
Because they've been all by the myth of the U.S. system and the U.S. dollar. Look at how bad baby boomers have it. And you have an entire society of financial professionals that sell this for a living because they're wholesalers. They're not finance people.
They were born into houses that costed $500 and now they're working at Target.
Right. Like, I like what Robert Kiyosaki said. He goes, I don't work with CFPs because they're nothing more than teachers that wanted a different gig to make more money. And he's right. How do most advisors build their business? They play golf every day. Not against golf or anything like that, but, they're there selling products and packaged services. Like when you look at financial planning, your plan is to take you to zero. That's the whole basis of the mathematics. And at the end of the rainbow, guess what? You, again, don't have ownership because you're going to get crushed by estate planning.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to generate wealth and be wealthy, first and foremost, you better own something. I don't care what it is. You better own your assets, whether it's gold, silver, Bitcoin, utilities, energy, businesses, whatever you have, you need to have ownership.
And they don't make it easy.
You can talk it, and there's a whole list of the structures and the ways to own it so you protect it, but like this stuff isn't taught in school. And they're not going to teach it they don't teach this in the CFP class. And they don't teach this stuff in finance class. Like, if you want to be wealthy, you have to be the owner.
I remember when I was in high school, I registered for an Intro to Business and Finance class.
Right.
And the entire thing was basically the stock market and the bond market and how you get involved in stocks and bonds and how you trade stocks and bonds. It was basically day trading class. That was it.
And it's a sucker class.
And the only other financial class they had was accounting.
And that's how to pay taxes.
Yeah, pretty much.
It doesn't teach you how to save taxes. It teaches you how to pay them.
Mm-hmm.
As 99% of accountants do out there.
I literally tried to, when I was in that class in 10th grade, I tried to, have the books be as such where I saved as much as possible. And the teacher was literally like, no, you have to do it this way because the books have to be balanced.
Yeah, I hated accounting.
I dropped out. I couldn't take it.
I come from an accounting family, which is
It was the only class I've ever dropped out of. High school, college, any education, only class I ever dropped out of was 10th grade accounting. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, it's because a lot of the numbers, when you look at them, they're just made up. How to hide things on the books. So anyways, getting back to it, that's another thing. You have to own your taxes, right? I had someone come to me the other day and they're like, oh, my company's providing me free taxes this year. Really? It ain't free. Because free. Someone's paying for it, and if I'm paying for it through my company, well, guess what? I'm going to get a tax deduction for that. So
nothing is free.
It's a write-off for me as a business owner, which is fantastic. The second part of that is you have someone that's going to save you money on taxes sitting down with you? Nope. They're just going to count your numbers. They're going to put them in the system and tell you how big of a check to write. Because that's what 99+% of accountants are. So, yeah, it's free, but it costs you.
So it's not free.
So it's not free. So
that's what I was just saying. Nothing is free. It's just someone else is paying.
It just amazes me how blind everybody is.
Well, no fault of their own in many cases. In most cases,
it's everybody's fault.
That's another way of saying it.
How are you going to beat the public markets if you are the public market? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You're the market. It's you.
I think it's in the sense that many people it's because this isn't taught, so many people aren't aware and don't have the capability, don't have the equipment. Like, you have to have the equipment.
It's because you're taught not to question things. You're punished for questioning things.
Yep.
And that's the difference in why
they tell you it's a
my
free
education,
country.
when I got to Canisius High School, they said, question everything. And, you could listen to every Tom, Dick, and Harry who has 400,000 views on YouTube, and they're just selling people a bunch of nonsense. Oh, but they look good in a tie and their background's really cool. And, oh, they must be wealthy, right? None of them are professionals.
BlackRock's got a podcast.
Well, yeah, they have to. But at least those are professionals there. They're professionals.
Yeah.
But the whole thing is, like, if you want to be wealthy, first and foremost, here, you want to find out if you have a financial advisor that's worth their salt? Ask them how to build your family office and if they can do that. Because the answer right off the bat is 95% of them will say no. Second part of it is, what or uncorrelated market assets do you use? What uncorrelated investments do you use? What private and secure investments do you help with your clients and secure for your clients? And they'll say, oh, we open a brokerage account and we buy stocks, bonds, and cash, and let's do some long shorts. Nope. Out. Taking my money elsewhere. And this is, the thing about this is, where most people in 3 years are going to miss this, and there are going to be a lot of people crying, because at the end of the day, they didn't listen. And they bought into a whole world of jargon and nonsense that, as George Carlin would say, it's all bullshit and it's all bad for you. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't have to worry about market volatility if I'm a secure private investor. Do I give a crap what the markets are doing right now? No. My energy wells are still pulling out gas, pulling out oil, pulling out energy. All the utilities we own, they're still pumping electricity. I mean, look at the lights in this room.
In many ways, the private market is what people who don't know anything about investing and are just getting into it think investing is. Whereas the public market is, this sort of perversion of that. Because when you think of, like, when you first get into investing as a kid, you basically think, all right, I want to put money into this because I like it. And it's going to make me money because I'm putting money into it and I'm going to get what's called a dividend. That's like the basic explanation.
Yeah, but what dividend? Okay, so if I could buy a dividend and a dividend producing fund, I'm going to get what, 3 to 5% a year?
Yeah, so even then.
In private credit, I'm getting 12 to 17 net of fees. Okay, 3 to 5, good luck to you. If I'm looking with a kid right now, I'm saying take your money and buy crypto and buy Bitcoin. Because Bitcoin's the most valuable asset you'll ever see in your lifetime. It's not going anywhere. And that's the other thing, is like,
yeah,
the misrepresentation
of Bitcoin.
All the algorithms that are out there on social media are beyond anything. If you don't want to listen to me, then go read Tony Robbins and listen to him. Because he's telling you your 401ks are bullshit. Your investments are bullshit. They're all correlated. Mm-hmm. Stocks, bonds, and cash are all tied to the dollar, and they're all going to zero.
But especially Bitcoin, like, I mean, I mentioned this the other day. It was so funny how, because earlier, like, sort of at the end of last year, Bitcoin, like, Bitcoin, and I say in quotation marks because I'll get to it. I'll make the point at the end.
Right.
But Bitcoin was going up to 100,000, right? And so then what happened was it started to go down.
Right.
And everybody was like, oh my God, there's a huge crash. Bitcoin is a total scam, blah, blah, blah. And then what happened is it went back up. And then now, at time of recording, now we're seeing sort of that same thing play out again. And people are saying the exact same thing as if the first time didn't happen. And crypto, the thing about it as well is, this is the crux of it, is crypto skeptics say what they always say, but crypto bros, on the other hand, they say, oh, look, it's going up, you got to buy the dip. That is not the crux of it.
I hate crypto bros too.
But that's not the crux of it.
Someone tried to call me a crypto bro 2 weeks ago, and I absolutely corrected them.
I want to know
call me a crypto bro.
I want to know more about that in a second.
First and foremost, just because I know the space that you can't understand doesn't make me a crypto bro. Because I'm a wealth and finance guy.
Yeah.
I'm an investment guy. Mm-hmm. I'm not even an advisor. I make people money, and I make myself money.
Yeah, I want to know more about that in a second. But the point is, Bitcoin cannot even truly be extrapolated as a stock. The old system that Bitcoin is destroying, along with other cryptocurrencies and the concept of DeFi in general, that old system which is being destroyed has chosen to extrapolate Bitcoin as if it were a stock, because it's restricted to doing that. That's all it can do.
They have it labeled as a risk asset inside their systems. So when your computer algorithms and quantitative computers say de-risk, crypto is the first thing they sell, which is catastrophic to everybody that has a financial planner and a financial advisor.
Yeah.
You have to understand that there will no longer be currencies.
Yeah. And that's why you can't extrapolate Bitcoin as a stock, because it defies the entire system's understanding of currency.
Well, yeah, it definitely does, but your generations have to get more involved in not participating in the fraudulent system that's been put in place. And don't think it's not going away, because everything that's been here for 100 years has fallen apart. It's just most people nobody's talking about it. Right? So if I'm an investor, well, what do I want to own? I want to own the buildings that everybody goes into every day. Mm-hmm. I want to own the roads you drive on. Those planes that you fly on, I want to own those too. And I don't mean by owning the company stock. I want to own the asset. Because you know what? If the company goes under, I could still sell the asset. Great. Delta goes out of business. I still own their fleet of planes. So I'll just go sell the planes to somebody else, and I'm made whole. Mm-hmm. And then, by the way, there's an entire taxation system built for the free enterprise system, because in the United States, we are a free enterprise system. We're not communist. We're not
at least
socialist.
We say we
are. The politics, forget it, are English. They're not even American, and we're not even going to get into that. But the reality is, you live and operate in a free market system. It's called free enterprise. That's the foundation. It will never change. It will never go away, because that's ultimately who controls everything, whether you like it or not. It's just, how are you going to participate as an individual? And this is why everybody has themselves to blame. Are you going to be the owner, or are you just going to be the person that goes around the board and pays everybody else? American consumerism. Everybody from a young age, through those jails that we call schools and public education, is taught how to be a consumer. They're not taught how to be an owner. Right? Mm-hmm. And when you flip to that mindset, when you move out of consumption to ownership, you then become wealthy. And stupid wealthy. Mm-hmm. Because you should be. It's not a talent thing. I could show you plenty of CEOs that are dumber than a box of rocks. And they're wealthy.
And we talk about a lot of them.
Right. Like, it's not that hard. You just have to choose your mentality. And the other thing you have to understand, as was taught by in schools, is you can't do it yourself. Because the world I'm talking about is not available to you, the everyday person, unless you work with someone like us at 10-7. And I know we're a unique firm. There's 99% of other firms across the country that cannot do what we do. And I've structured it that way. I've sat in front of tens of thousands of financial advisors in my career, and I wouldn't give any of them my money. Maybe 2. The other 3 are retired.
Which ones?
I can't even think of them anymore. Because everybody's retired. So, days like today really piss me off. Mm-hmm. In finance.
Speaking of dumb people, I wanna go back to that story you mentioned briefly, without naming names. What the hell happened where you got called a crypto bro?
No, it was a couple of people that are with other financial advisors and a bunch of advisors in the room, and I'm the only one that can talk blockchain and crypto. You're just a crypto bro. No, my platform will destroy your platform at LPL. I can blow your doors off. You can't touch what I can do at these shops.
So they just assume simply because you know the space.
I know the space. I'm a crypto bro. I'm not a crypto bro. I hate crypto bros.
I don't believe
I think most of the Bitcoin community has done a massive disservice to the public in general.
I don't believe you have a board
They have not done the work that needs to be done. So now you're going to get people like me that are going to come and do the work that needs to be done that they didn't do.
In many cases, they've actually made it worse for people like
They have absolutely made it worse.
Like, how many times have you seen YouTube channels where they get hacked and it's like they get turned into like some coins promotion channel and it's like a stream of Michael Saylor.
It's not even about that. We need the next generation of technology in the financial space. And a lot of these people have not done the work. Oh, HODL. What does that mean to the everyday person?
Spell it right. Say hold, you dumbass.
Right, like
say hold, like an adult.
And then they promote HODL during the market dips. Like, come on, guys. Like, you have to get out there and communicate the importance of this technology. Here, you want something private, secure, that nobody can f*** with and nobody can take from you. And that's what having your own family office is. It's f*** you wealth. Like Lucy Liu says, she has f*** you wealth. Our infrastructure and what we do for our clients and families is f*** you wealth.
I think that's
because
now 4
when you have ownership,
that's now 4 beeps I have to insert.
When you have ownership, you have f*** you wealth. You want to know why?
There's 5.
Because you become your own bank.
It's true, though.
I don't need a bank. I'll borrow against myself and my family's bank. Just like the Rockefellers did.
Mm-hmm.
Structure, organization, ownership. You want financial freedom? Stop buying these green lines, orange dots, and all this crap. Get yourself together, structure, philosophy, and ownership.
And what kind of wealth do you need to have?
F*** you wealth.
There's number 6.
Nobody can tell you what to do. And more importantly, it's nobody can tell your children, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren, and everybody down the line what to do. That's freedom. And that's not the freedom, then the financial freedom they're selling you in a box.
Mm-hmm.
Go hire a CFP if you want to go to zero. They're great at showing you the way. Their stuff looks pretty good. It's got all those beautiful charts and graphs. But what you don't have is ownership.
And ownership is what helps you cross the bridge into the future of finance.
Ownership is a big deal. Because with ownership, you never go to zero.
That is true. That said, though, I think we've crossed the bridge for today. Anything else you want to add?
Not yet.
More rants for the future?
No, we're not. I've saved this one for today, but we're going to talk about the myth of retirement next.
That's a nice one. I agree with that one. So, stay tuned for that. But, as always, I'm Tyler.
I'm Tim. You'll probably never see this because the algos don't want you to see this message.
Well, don't jinx it.
I'm not jinxing it, just saying.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah.
Cheers.
See you soon.